It dawned on me gradually that the world was full of birds, and then there was this sudden acceleration of awareness. And there aren't that many moments in your life where you become aware of a dimension of the world that you had been completely unaware of. The scales fell from my eyes. I suddenly realized that it wasn't just a people-filled world, it was also a bird-filled world. I had the experience of life suddenly getting much richer. I was more distracted too, of course. I could no longer sit outside without trying to identify what I was hearing. I was seeing an entirely different side of the world with this awareness of birds. And for a long time, I cared about the environment in a very abstract way. So for a long time, I just gave up on environmentalism and didn't come back to it until I'd fallen in love with birds. Finding out, for instance, that there is a terrible problem in the Mediterranean with the killing of migratory birds, I wanted to strike a blow on behalf of those birds that were dying in the Mediterranean.
Yes, good morning, madam. My name is Andrea Rutigliano from CABS.
From?
CABS, the Association for the Protection of Birds.
Yes.
Yes, listen, we are in the area of Ayos Antonios. Hello, good morning, sir. We are here, a group of persons to control the trapping for Ambelovulia. And there are many trappers around, and I think we will have a problem in a few minutes because people are quite aggressive, and we need your support. Can you say? Okay, thank you very much, sir.
You only there. Why you don't? Have you seen anybody else coming this farm? I know what job you're doing. You're looking for birds. I know what job you're doing.
Exactly.
Don't think I don't know.
No.
My friend, this is my private business. In your garden, you let anyone to
In
come.
my garden, I don't put traps for it.
Right.
Never put traps in my garden.
Even if you put, you let anyone to come.
Yes.
You have problem. Where are you from?
From Italy.
From Italy. I've been in Europe many times. Don't think I'm a farmer.
This is Europe.
Huh? This is Europe.
This is Europe.
Part of,
You are a member of...
Yes. No, but listen.
Yeah, I told them not to
I
do
get crazy or not?
No, you're not crazy. Man.
You are not crazy, you are right.
My friend,
You are right.
this is my private business. I saw you the other day.
My friend,
Okay, first time mistake. Second time is no mistake. Don't stop again. Now I'm gonna go.
Lo lascio? No, ma adesso lei lo vede.
Okay.
Some 3 to 5 billion birds summer in Europe and the western half of Asia, and then winter in Africa, dispersing over thousands and thousands of miles. And they all have to funnel through just a few pinch points in the Mediterranean. You've got these incredibly tiny animals. They're just a couple of inches long. They're flying hundreds of miles in a night, resting and refueling in the day, flying hundreds of miles the next night, 5,000 miles altogether in some cases. And they will often end up in the exact same spot they were the year before, sometimes the very same tree. We don't really entirely understand how they do it.
We're talking about an absolutely unimaginable journey for an animal that weighs 20 grams and that fuels up by gorging itself at the end of the summer. And the fact, of course, that they are so fat-rich is what, unfortunately, makes them so attractive to trappers. If we go back 100 years, it would have been a largely vegetarian diet. Meat would have been a special treat. So these songbirds were in those days, a really important supplement of protein and fat. And people think, oh, well, you know, my granddad did it. What's wrong with that? It's a tradition. It's good. Yeah, your granddad did do it. But that was in a completely different context. These birds were not experiencing the population declines then that they're experiencing now. And this is the thing that the people who are still eating these trapped birds have not taken on board. It's very hard to quantify how many birds are being consumed as delicacies because it's very hush-hush. It's done on the quiet. It's illegal. But it's in the order of millions being eaten illegally every year.
I'd made some birdwatching friends in Germany, and they sent me disturbing images that Cabs was putting out. And my first thought was, oh, here are some crackpots. I don't want to have anything to do with them. So I had an immediate negative hit off these guys. And it was only later when I tried to find people who were actually doing something aggressive in the Mediterranean and got to know Andrea particularly that I realized, yeah, well, they may be a little crazy, but the situation in the Mediterranean is enough to drive you crazy.
I sit now from my property because I'm very up. Out from my
Okay, let's
now. Robert!
We go.
I said no!
We go.
Never come here again. In your life, never. I said never.
Yes.
If you ever,
If you touch me,
honor God, I will kill you here.
Court of the police.
Get down from my property now.
I'm going.
Now, watch it.
I'm going now.
I will count up to 10 and you run. I said run. Everybody, run. Warren, run. Run. 3 seconds. Guns I will kill. 3.
The problem is we are running out of time, birds are disappearing, and I'm going to use every weapon I have to help them.
I have got a master's degree in law, but my occupation is private banker in a European financial institution in Italy. I manage more or less 20 millions of euros. I can imagine that people looking at me have some difficulties in understanding me. I mean, because from a certain point of view, I collect cans for a few euros. And from another point of view, I have millions of euros of money of value from the customer. My dad died when I was really, really young. And so I saw it like a way of earning some money. Then I understood that it was an important thing to do to save energy. All the money I get from recycling, I go them to the environmental charity, 100%. This autumn, I was looking for ortolan traps in France with the cabs, when my girlfriend Cecilia gave me a ring and told me, oh, Sergio, I have a good news to tell you. I'm pregnant. I never thought about having a child.
Non dico come quello mio, è comunque abbastanza radicale, nonostante sia auspicabile per chiunque, però anche quello di altri amici che... Pimpi, topino, qui a Valle Vegan, tutto quello che vedete non è di nessuno, se non degli animali. In questo momento ci sono liberi oltre 100 animali, però in 6 anni siamo riusciti a liberarne forse 1 migliaio, tra cui... Posso dire che la mia vita è stata un po' un crescendo verso queste tematiche, quasi una radicalizzazione.
Friendship is, I think, essential in the job we do, because if you go in a dangerous place, I prefer going with people that I know. And of course, I think they feel the same for me.
Sergio, mostly at the beginning, he was a source of inspiration for me. And he's taught me so much. He's a very educated person. his contribution to the cause is emotional. The only thing he wants to do is to save birds and go out into the field and destroy the traps. Is only what he wants. When I'm in the field, Piero is my reference point. I can trust him completely. If there is not Piero in the camp or somewhere else in the area, I feel alone.
What CABS tells is don't go inside private property. But if we talk about poaching, we are talking about something which is not legal. From a legal point of view, when you see a crime going on, you have to do something. You have the authorization to trespass a private property, going in and trying to prevent crimes.
Okay, cannot release this one. You see, they've cut the last finger of the bird, so it will never be able to fly. The problem is when the bird is badly injured and you have to decide what to do with it. If it is alive, then it immediately starts this relationship with it. Sometimes it's really better to say, okay, I have to kill it.
Go.
Go. It's the worst that can happen relating to birds in these situations. You feel hopeless, and it tortures me, actually. Non guardare, toccami negli occhi.
Non guarda te.
Non guardare il nulla, come se tu stessi, come se loro non esistessero. È normale, vieni, compagni, guardare quello che fa. Bonjour, madame.
Vous êtes qui, s'il vous plaît?
Une équipe de télévision.
Vous êtes rentré dans ma propriété.
Ouais. Et où il y avait des actions illégales.
Écoutez, les oiseaux, peut-être sont pas vous, on n'avait que les lâcher, mais laissez le matériel où c'était.
Le matériel était un piège illégal qu'on utilise pour attraper des oiseaux protégés
vous savez
dans
que c'est...
toute la...
Attendons.
Oui. C'est bon, Marie.
Oui. Ça suffit, arrête, attends. C'est pas la peine.
C'est illégal, on savait que... On savait qu'il était légal. C'est légal.
Oui.
Bon, alors, j'ai appelé l'agent.
Je le faire, en plus je suis privé, c'est chez moi. Hein. Et les appôts que vous avez fait?
Les appôts, on a volé.
Ah ouais, tout a volé?
Bon, deux de quatre ont volé. Les autres sont là.
On a riempì, on prend mieux parago. Oh, qu'à faire?
Quoi? Je ne comprends pas.
On en prend un peu de
Ça suffit, René, arrête.
Et après, vous n'êtes pas français, parce que vous ne parlez pas bien le français.
Ouais. On a vu maintenant, oui.
Il
y avait des oiseaux protégés dans une cage. On sait qu'ils sont protégés parce que la loi européenne dit qu'ils sont à l'heure.
C'est toléré.
C'est toléré.
Oui, c'est toléré.
Piero, mi senti cambio? The police arrived. First one car with the two agents and then two other cars. So we were suddenly surrounded by 7 policemen. And they said, be careful if you work close to a farm or in a crop field and a hunter finds you, they could shoot you. Of course, they will go to jail, but be careful. This is the situation. I know that they don't like to check in cars if they don't have a suspicion. So to be polite, I said, no, please check. I can open, show you everything. We didn't have anything to hide. But he saw our wine in the back of the car. He said that Sergio's wine was good and Piero's wine was awful. It was poison, he said.
Noi è venuto da noi, guarda, siamo verso la casa in costruzione, quella finale. Passo. Manfred, come on. The tree over there, you see?
Funzione panoramica.
Ce ne fai più di una per caso?
Sì. Che cazzo hai fatto niente?
The lime sticks are, I think, a particularly cruel hunting method. First it got caught with its foot, and then it tried to use its wing to leverage, and the wing got stuck. So you can see how the very struggle to escape has gotten it ever more deeply caught. I think we can define as cruel forms of death that are not quick, painful, filled with anxiety. And it's hard to imagine a form of death for a bird that would be more filled with anxiety and more filled with pain than being caught in lime. These are birds that are hard to see normally. These birds are all about freedom of movement. And to have them right in front of you, to see them so hopelessly gummed up,
Piano, piano. Qua.
Piano,
Sergio, fermo.
Che ore sono adesso?
Piano. Ok.
Ciao. Ciao piccolo.
Somebody saw you in another place, looking for sticks, for birds. Why you do this?
Is there any problem?
It is problem, yes. This land here is belong to me.
We
use this 1,000 years here.
So things change.
You born 20 years and
listen, my friend.
no good
There's no birds like 1,000 years ago. You cannot do the same thing.
You do your job now.
Yes, I'm doing. No, I'm not. This is not job. I work in a bank. This is not my job. I'm on holiday.
In a bank?
Yes, I work in a bank. This is an holiday for me. I spend my holiday to do this.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy.
You're crazy. I tell you something very friendly. I will tell you.
I'm telling you very friendly as well.
And me too. You will find something very bad in Cyprus one time.
One time.
One time.
Are you trying to frighten
No.
us? Give me
No. Everybody discussed about your company. Everybody. And I'm telling you very, very friendly.
Okay, good.
Don't do this.
What do?
If you have family, if you have
We have family.
wives.
I do.
You have children.
I do. No.
You don't have children.
Who knows?
You know, you are not in your country.
I know.
Be careful inside.
I'm always careful.
Be very, very
Everybody
careful.
has to die. Everybody has to die. Switch it off.
It's like we are going nowhere. And the size of the problem is so big.
You see thousands of birds, but they kill millions of birds.
If we don't change the attitude, we risk our lives.
We risk our lives every day.
So what's the point doing that?
Okay. But this is life.
We should use maybe our spare times in a better way.
Hey, reading books. I never have the time to read a book.
The bird is just feeling pain on one wing. Normally it needs a night to recover completely. So we'll release the bird tomorrow morning probably. Ciao. This is the famous Ambelopulia.
Sto cucinando come a Cipro per Andrea e Sergio, perché Andrea ha la testa sempre nel caos, computer, internet, telefonate, polizia, mentre Sergio è meglio non farlo cucinare perché, come dice lui stesso, a casa si occupa di tutto sua madre, e quindi Sergio, da mammone qual è, non lo facciamo mai cucinare.
No, I'm not stupid, I'm informed, it's different. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't help. Okay, then hear you later, mate. Yeah, take care, ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
10 minuti, è andata bene, no?
Stammi bene.
Every day we are threatened with death. We had asked officially 1 month ago to have the support of a police officer to our team, and at the highest level they answered, what we can do, if you tell us in advance where you are operating, we will send a car and a patrol of the police in the immediate proximity of the area where we operate. So you call them and they arrive immediately. But today they downgraded the promises. What they will do is, if you get a problem, you call the local police station and they will send a patrol. It will take, as usual, 30, 40 minutes. If they arrive on time, they will save our lives. If they don't arrive on time, it will be too late.
Silenzio.
In the night. The advantage for us is that we are invisible. The problem is, on the other side, the danger is that trappers are invisible. It's like you don't breathe because you don't want them to hear you and because you are in a sort of state of tension till the end of the operation. Dogs. I really hate dogs in the night because they do exactly what you don't want them to do. Betray you, can tell their owners where you are.
Police are here now, and they take these two first to the doctor, and I go now with Jonathan
to the police
because we see it. We go and we make statements. Right, and Jonathan is an American journalist.
So go and write something about this shameful situation.
I believe me, I will.
I see you.
I'm not sure I would have the stomach to do what the cabs people do, but I admire them for doing it. They are bringing to light a violence that is hidden or a violence that is being visited on the natural world. And they are, in effect, trying to take some of the heat off the animals and put it on themselves.
We do a job that nobody does. A lot of associations, of course, they raise money, they try to change things about the law, but almost nobody goes on the field risking the lives of people, of volunteers, trying to release the birds.
Andare nel posto personalmente come individuo a lottare contro forme di sfruttamento animale è stato il motivo principale in assoluto. Non più delegare, non più parlare, non più teorizzare, bensì andare e combattere.
Take the other, not mine. Down is too much. Down is too much. Take the other.
Ja, ist gut, ist gut, ist gut, ist gut.
Not is good. Give me. I come in this place before 50 years. And I still come.
Since 50 years.
I have my son, like you. He come with me for this thing. Yes.
To catch birds?
Yes.
Okay.
My son, it was the airplane in Athens going down. My son, his wife, and 2 children.
So the plane crashed?
Yes, the airplane going down.
Oh, I didn't
and
know.
My son, and his wife, and 2 children.
What, died?
Yes. Sorry. And every morning now I come here and I looking for him.
For your son?
Yes.
This is the point.
Yeah, sorry, but this is our job.
I take 2, 3, 4 birds only to eat and only to remember my before life. And you come to make problem to me. I don't sell this thing. I come only for remember my. You think I tell lie?
No.
6 years now, no, Sheriff.
The point. When we want to save the birds, we would like you to stop to change the tradition, to change.
Now, please, no possible to because many years and I have problem.
No.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So, listen.
I lost my son.
Yes.
And I come here to see him, look for him,
Okay, let's
look
do
the other, look.
Let's
To
do
remember
No, andiamo via.
No,
Adesso
non ti fai dare un bel posto gratis, non te lo fai dare, magari con delle reti.
You understand?
We understand with here, but we don't understand here. You know.
Listen, we understand from a human point of view. But this is our job, unfortunately.
Andiamo.
Bye bye.
When we arrived here in the late 80s and in the 90s, we found boat traps even visible from the main road. We found nets and decoys, illegal decoys in the yards of the houses, in the backyards. When we crossed a village, people shouted and yelled at us. Slowly we have worked on different levels, on the media level, we work on a political level. So the situation has changed. Trapping has decreased a lot. It has taken 20 years, but the real milestone was when the cooperation with the authorities started.
In questo periodo siamo arrivati a circa 30 bracconieri, perché è un piatto tipico e tradizionale, quello della polenta e osei.
The blood of a robin, some days old. This man has been caught by me 3 times every year. He sets the traps here, always the same place, always here, up there and up there where I want to go, exactly around this path which is called the butcher's path. So I don't know what you can do. Actually, according to the law, you should go to jail, because if you do that twice, you should be fined to jail. But somehow he's still out, and he's the man you saw up there with and he's the hunter, of course, as well, of this hunting hide. So he shoots there legally and he traps here illegally. Now we go on the other side of the mountain without being seen. When I was 24, I made an application to a wild animals rescue center, and I was accepted. I was in charge of all the animals there, and there were some 200, 300 animals to take care of for there. Mostly were birds. It was one of the best experiences in my life. The problem was that I was so engaged that I completely neglected myself. I was just living for the animals, just devoting myself to the animals. And at the end, I lost a girlfriend. I really understood I was going mad somehow. 3 of the animals I cared for during this period were unforgettable. The red deer together with the roe deer. They came when they were orphans. I gave them milk for the first time. We used to spend the night together. I went out in the forest to sleep with them because I want them to get used to be alone in the forest. Then when there was a car crossing, I tried to teach them to be afraid of the cars. And I ate the grass together with them because I wanted to teach them which was the best grass. I really think that to animalize yourself, it's not a crime. It's great because you find the common background all mammals have. And the third animal during this time was a sparrowhawk. When he came, I knew I had to give him just meat 3 times a day, 4 times a day. It was growing bigger. I put him in a bigger cage. And one day I was throwing food in the cage and he flew away. I was not prepared to free the bird. He needed a time to understand how to feed. 2 days later in the morning, I was sleeping there in the forest. I hear his call like beep, 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 beep. And he comes to me begging for food. So I go with the usual food. He takes it and flies away. After 5 hours, he comes back again on the top of the tree. I get the chick, I throw it in the air, and he catches it in the air and goes away. We did this game for 1 week. And then we saw that he started chasing birds on his own. Slowly, he became independent and eventually left. That moment when you have the feeling you have a communication with the animals, they understand you, you understand them perfectly, and still they are wild animals. This was perfect, actually. We found a couple of days ago the lime stick set on the pavement, and this is like a signal to say we know that you're here, and this is some sort of mafia message, some mafia communication. We must consider that the bigger is the damage we make to them, the more dangerous or more aggressive the response can be.
Ambelopuglia, it's something that is now very clearly linked, and everyone admits this, to the underworld, to mafia-style gangs that are also involved in prostitution rackets, in gambling, in drugs, and this is part of their portfolio because there is just so much money you can make out of trapping. The peak of season, these trappers can be catching tens of thousands of birds in a single night.
What's about the other net?
Falla suelta, lascia, passa. Pieno.
Quindi quello che si prova è rabbia perché ancora oggi, nel 2012, ci sono degli Stati membri dove accadono questi gravi attacchi alla natura, agli uccelli. Gli uccelli sono un patrimonio, naturalmente deve essere tradotta in azioni concrete, e una delle azioni concrete che io voglio fare è quella di portare a conoscenza della Commissione europea, del commissario Potocnik, quello che ho visto, quello che ho trovato, affinché le autorità dell'Unione Europea intervengano nei confronti della Repubblica di Cipro.
In case Cyprus does go to the European Court, what is the possible fine that Cyprus is likely to pay?
La magnitudine delle pene.
La penalità potrebbe essere di circa 1 miliardo di euro. Lunedì tutte le maggiori associazioni ONG ambientaliste italiane incontreranno il commissario Potocnik proprio per accelerare questa seconda sentenza di condanna per far smettere definitivamente questa infrazione.
We talk with this politician, that politician, they say, oh, this is awful. I believe them, but the whole doesn't work. Because it's billions of euro. Who wants to pay billions of euro? But even in this situation, when they have to face this concrete danger, they still try to write amendments to the law, trying to keep in the middle way so that, okay, the ecologists get this, but the hunters get this.
Italian side, German side.
Hey, you pay my side first. This must be the trapper's dog. Yeah. Come on. Come on. It's enough, it's enough, it's enough, it's enough. Oh, the vultures. Oh, you saw them. You see the vulture up there? Circling.
Oh, it's dead.
Wait, that
5 minutes earlier.
is still warm. Huh?
It's very warm. It died 5 minutes before we came. It's probably one of the flock we saw.
Sure. Oh, it's completely smashed.
It's the brick.
The birds go in the trap, lured by the bait, by the berries, and they brush these two sticks. By moving the wing, the tail, and the whole construction collapses.
You can really see the part of the bird where the stone crashed. It's totally flat, the back, like a piece of paper, nearly. And the rest of the bird was not smashed. You can see the head was out of the trap, so I hope that it was killed immediately and not tortured for hours. Such a nice bird. We invest such a lot of money and spare time to protect these species. And here they are tortured and trapped for nothing, for the cooking pot. This is a mistle thrush, it's still alive. And I'm now trying to release it. But first I want to check whether we can...
Well, don't hold him from the wing. If he can, he can. If he doesn't, we get him back.
Oh,
he's on the block. Oh.
No, we can't. It's a mistle thrush. You see the... This is not broken, it's injured.
Wow, beautiful.
The wing is okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay. If he doesn't have any problem on the back, on the spine bone.
Let me check the other wing. We can try to release it.
You ready to?
But here, no, there's only feathers. Okay. Let's try to release it.
Leave it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready? Oh, no way.
Problem is the back, the spine bone.
I will go behind the bushes and try.
This is the part of the work I don't like. If it were just the leg, it could fly away and then hopping on the ground, and maybe in 2 weeks it would be okay. But if they lie like that, the problem is in the back. Spine bone, you say? I think. So there's nothing to do. That's that.
There was no chance to survive for this bird, so I put an end to its misery.
You change the culture not by writing essays or reports or just with words and texts, but with your example, with your body example, by showing the people that you care with your actions. I know that to save one bird life, it doesn't make a difference when there are thousands or millions slaughtered somewhere else. But for us, and for me especially, to release a bird from a cage or a net where the bird is perfect, it can fly. It's like to make reversible something that was irreversible, to give back the life to someone who is condemned to death. You can take away everything from me, but if I am not allowed to free the birds that I find in the traps, it's really difficult to get energy to do this work. It's more than joy. It's actually like everything makes sense now. You free yourself at the same time.
Beh, guarda che ha 2 mesi sto Cristo. È piccolissimo, eh. Questo è un nuovo membro del Cubs, eh? My father told me that changing 1% is better than nothing. At the beginning, I didn't understand the meaning. 1% is almost nothing, but it's not nothing, because you give a message from people. If I do 1%, he does 1%, the other guy does 1%, my neighbor does 1%, we are close to 5%, 10%, 20%.
From a biological perspective, it makes no difference if you rescue 100 or 1,000 or even 50,000 birds. But there's something to be said for a way of being, a habit of being that is about service, helping some other creature. You liberate a little bird and it flies north and has a family in Northern Europe. I see the Cabs people as performing love. They love these animals, and they are performing it. And they're performing it for its own sake. You're not necessarily thinking about the big picture. You're just saying, I don't want this beautiful animal dying in lime sticks and horrible snares. And what do? The first instinct is reach in and stop it. At the deepest level, they are performing love for the animals. That was another oriole, I believe.